This presentation is a summary of the study Major Depression with Seasonal Variation. Is it a valid construct? Seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, is a mental illness which involves depression symptoms becoming worse during the winter months. However, recent studies have given reason to doubt the legitimacy of this illness. This study sets out to answer the question of whether SAD should be considered legitimate or not. This study used a cross-sectional design, meaning the researchers looked at a specific point in time when collecting their data. To obtain a large sample size of 34,294 adults, the researchers used data obtained from a National Health Behavior Survey known as BRFSS and its subset SMART. By using a large sample size that spans across the U.S., the amount of similarities between participants decreases and reduces the amount of variables that could influence the results. The Patient Health Questionnaire 8, or PHQ-8, is the depression scale used by the BRFSS to determine the severity of symptoms of respondents. SAD theory includes two factors which affect depression symptoms: the person's geographical location and the amount of sunlight they are exposed to. According to SAD theory, the further north in latitude a person is, the more likely they are to suffer from SAD. This theory also says the less sunlight one is exposed to, the more likely they are to suffer from SAD. The researchers analyzed the data and looked for relationships between geographical location and depression symptoms, as well as sunlight exposure and depression symptoms. They also looked to see if the data showed any seasonal patterns where depression symptoms peaked in the winter. After analysis, the researchers found depression symptoms displayed no seasonal patterns at all, never mind during winter. The analysis also found no relation between depression symptoms and either geographical location nor sunlight exposure. Because SAD may not be very prevalent in the general population, the researchers also looked at a sample of people with depression, where it is expected SAD would be more prevalent. Analysis of this data showed the same results as the analysis of the general population. This study only had a couple limitations, the first of which was the cross-sectional design. This type of design is not the strongest design to make relational conclusions because there is no starting or ending point to reference. If the study went on to ensure the consistency of the results, this study would have been stronger. The other limitation was the researchers left out other cultures that experience harsher winters than the U.S., like those above the Arctic Circle. Although these cultures are not directly analyzed by the study, they do reference other studies where these cultures are included. The overall conclusion of this study provides evidence to doubt the legitimacy of SAD as a mental illness. By allowing a mental illness based on folk psychology, like SAD, to be included as a serious diagnosable illness, you run the risk of providing improper care to a patient with legitimate depression. Social consequences have also arisen with SAD. Employees with SAD are winning lawsuits against employers for not accommodating the disorder. This should only happen if the disorder is a legitimate disorder.